Hey everybody, welcome back to the Movie Couple channel and welcome back to our live stream. On today's show, we're going to be talking about what?
No, just look at you.
I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And today we're going to be talking about spoilers for Ahsoka, the series so far, and a couple of Halloween events such as the Oogie Boogie Bash and Halloween Horror Nights, because we got to go to attend both of them. Yeah, like we don't usually get to, no, that's false.
Well, we've gotten to go to Horror Nights a couple of times. However, this is our first Oogie Boogie Bash, and there's a lot of things that I would love to talk about it because it was our very first experience.
Yes.
But we're going to be talking about Oogie Boogie. We're going to be talking about Horror Nights, and of course, I can't wait to start talking about some fan theories about Ahsoka. So grab your coffee, grab your boba, grab your liquid IV with promo code The Movie Couple and get 20% off
and
free shipping.
Yes. Yeah, there's actually a bunch of new flavors. We have been talking about liquid IV on the channel for like a long time. But
we use it like crazy.
We use it a lot. I actually just used our own code to buy some new ones because they had new flavors that came out. They got new flavors for kids. So if you have little ones and you want to, use liquid IV with them, they have kids ones like apple and things like that. And then the new thing I really like that they brought out is the sugar-free version, and they have different flavors. They have a lemon lime, they have a peach, and they have the grape. And the grape is actually like my favorite out of the three. So I bought some of that, and I bought some more. I think guava was the other flavor that we like a lot. So yeah, if you are interested in trying out liquid IV, if you are low in stock for liquid IV, check out. So you have to go to the actual website, like the Liquid IV website, and then just put in our code, which is the Movie Couple, and it's evergreen. You can use it for not just this one purchase, but like
for all of them,
any of the purchases. And I will say, like, I felt a difference between using it and not using it, which I was
especially during the summer.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, it really does work. So, anyways, all right. So let's talk about some Halloween stuff up top. We're gonna let a couple more people come in. And
thank you so much, Sean. I like this one. I have for some reason I'm on a bucket hat kick because they fit my head.
That's the only reason.
That's one of the only reasons. Honestly, if I ever find a hat that fits my head, I immediately I like this hat.
Yes.
Because normally, if I wear a hat, it fits like this.
I don't have a normal hat.
A normal hat
here with me.
But
yeah.
It's really, I like this. I like the bucket hats. I got them all at Disneyland.
Yes.
The first one, the other, I have three of them. One is an orange one. That's Pixar.
You don't wear that one as much.
That one's a little too tight, but I got it because it kind of fits my head. And then this one fit my head. I got at Disneyland, and it fit a little bit more comfortable. Oh yeah, it's reversible. All of the hats that I have are reversible, but I also wear them because my hair is starting to get a little. Even the Marvel one, that is reversible as well.
What's on the other side of it?
So on this one, we got I think there's a Chewie and a R2-D2 on this side, and this one is a Stormtrooper and Darth Vader. So I thought, seeing how we're going to be talking a lot about Star Wars today, I thought it was very, thematic.
Yes. And before we get into our first topic, which will be Halloween Horror Nights and Oogie Boogie Bash, we have a couple of super chats, and we want to get to them real quick. We have, oh my gosh, thank you, Marvin Martin, for your super chat with his recommendation. So Marvin Martin writes, critical drinkers Ahsoka videos. Ooh, okay, we'll have to look that up for sure. Horror by Maya's Hypnotic Girl Power Dance music video. One Life, lighthearted Schindler's List. Okay. Thank you for the lighthearted note.
I don't know how you can get lighthearted Schindler's List.
Everybody makes it out alive?
Maybe.
I don't know. And of course, the Alan Wake 2 game.
Always great recommendations.
Yes. Thank you so much, Martin. Cheers to you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers to you. And we have one more super chat. This one's from Anthony.
Anthony, how's it going, man?
Thank you, Anthony. Anthony writes, hello, Dustin and Wendy. Also, the movie bunch. Great to see you all. Hope everyone has been good. Happy to be here before work. All right. I got to see Anthony IRL.
That's right.
At Twice concert. Yes.
Oh, and of course, someone else comes running in at the last moment.
At the mention of Anthony.
Anthony,
thank you so much for your super chat.
And we, of course, have Navi here today. She's all freshly groomed.
Yes.
and cleaned. Oh, she's grunting. She's like, put me on your lap. I just want
she's
to.
like, I don't want to say hi to people. I just want to be the center of attention without being the center of attention. Yeah, no, it's always really great, like getting to meet the movie bunch IRL. So if you ever like see us, just say hi. I do feel bad, like with Anthony's interaction, like we were messaging each other on IG and we're trying to find each other. And I was like, all right, I'll just look for him. And I'm just like, I don't, everybody's wearing like Twice merchandise. I don't know. And then we were sending photos of like of our locations. Like, hey, I'm by the water. It's at the SoFi Stadium for Twice. Hey, I'm right here. And I was like, this is right in front of me. So I was like, I do the one thing that I hope no one ever does to me, but I had to. And I was like, Anthony!
You just yell it out.
And I was like,
Marco!
I was but as soon as I yelled it out, I was like, it'll be just my luck. There's 5 other Anthony's in the close vicinity. And that was like turn around. They're like, yes. I'd be like, well, crap.
Like, so, no. Aha!
Luckily, that didn't happen. The one and only, the true Anthony was there. So I'm glad to have seen you. And we got to go to another K-pop show together. That'd be so cool. Let's see. I want to go through some of you guys' comments because we haven't done this in a while.
I know. We always, I mean, honestly, there's been during COVID and during the pandemic, we were like, yeah, twice a week.
Because we weren't going outside.
Yeah, true. And we had, and now that, life's picked back up, it's kind of like, whoa, we don't have time. We got to go do this.
I did get COVID again just recently though. So I've had it twice now. It's not fun. I will say, and thank you for everybody who with all of your like get well wishes. I feel like I felt them and it helped me recover. I will say like the symptoms is milder than my first time. I didn't have any fever or body aches, and I had that the first time, and like really bad headaches the first time. No headaches. Well, a little bit of headache was for like a day, a couple hours, and I took some Tylenol, went away. But the congestion was still there, and I think the biggest difference for me this time around was my anxiety shot through the roof for some odd reason. Like I'm having coffee. That's right. I'm having coffee now, but I'm gonna regret this later because it's gonna
start getting like the
jitters.
And
it's like way more intense than before. And then on the opposite of it, I'm drinking coffee because I need the energy because my energy level is shot. Like I'll walk Navi on like a short 10-minute walk, middle of the day or something like that. I'll come back and I'll need a nap. This has never happened to me before. It's not happened the last time. So take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
Yep.
If you feel sick, probably better to stay in. Or if you have to go out, I don't know, put on a mask. I'm sure at this point everybody has some left over in their house, just when you're sick. But you do you. So with that, okay. I think Debbie said something and I can't find it.
I know it's weird when
it was something about NSYNC, and I wanted to read it. So.
Oh yeah, didn't NSYNC recently do something?
Well, they were at the VMAs. They didn't sing or anything like that, but it was the 5 of them all together on one stage, and they gave Taylor, I think, like an award or something like that. Oh, okay. It's for the new Trolls movie, so it's like the 3rd one. Justin's been.
Oh yeah, Justin's been in all of them.
That. So the Trolls movie has a new trailer with new NSYNC music.
That's pretty cool.
Gonna have to check that out.
I think that would be really cool. I mean, if they actually get all of the NSYNC members to be a part of the Trolls 3 movie, and then they just happen to have like all of the characters do a number together. It's like technically it's an NSYNC number.
Yep.
So I'm like, that's really cool.
Yep.
And I have to admit, Trolls is one of those franchises that so far all of their movies have been pretty good. So it's going to be like, what is it called? How when you think of great sagas and great trilogies, you can be like, oh yeah, the Trolls movies is pretty good too. I
mean, the first one was really good. I don't remember the second one that much. So maybe I have to do like a rewatch. But I'm excited that like I wonder if this was Justin's plan all along. Be like, let me get in there, guys. And then I'll get the group to do a song. But it's perfect.
Yeah,
because I think the second one was a little bit more like K-pop-y.
Well, they were doing all the different kinds of trolls. There was like a rock troll. There was a country troll. There was I think there was kind of a K-pop troll.
Yeah,
but I don't know. But it was. The rock troll was trying to take all of the music from all
Trolls
of them.
World Tour.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it's called. So yeah, I look forward to that, and I don't know if this means potentially like reunion tour for NSYNC.
That would be pretty cool.
Fantastic. Or just like one reunion performance. Like if they're not going to tour, I get it. They're busy. They got families. It's different now.
They've got different lives now.
Yeah, it's not, you know, early 2000s, but like a live performance or like a special or something like that. And they televise it or they put it in movie theaters in IMAX, like how Taylor Swift's doing it, I would go see it 100%.
You know, that might be the future of a lot of concerts nowadays, because with all of the drama that's going on with like Ticketmaster and all these different venues, and like what happened with Taylor Swift, it's one of those things. They're like, you know what? We're just going to have it on our own stage and we're just going to broadcast it.
Yeah.
You know,
Debbie is saying rumors are flying for 2025 for either a reunion tour or, you know what though? You know who else comes back in 2025? BTS.
Oh yeah.
The girls and I were joking about flying to Seoul for BTS. So I don't know. Oh,
but you've been wanting to go and visit Korea for a while.
And I've never gone to a BTS concert. For as much as I love them, I've never gone to a BTS concert. So I love to do that. Anyways, I'm sorry. We got completely sidetracked.
Just a little.
So okay, Halloween Horror Nights. It's not like it wasn't our first time attending, but this year they have a lot of new mazes. The Last of Us, Stranger Things. Well, while they've had Stranger Things before, but they had this is more based on the current season that's on Netflix right now. And then they had for another movie, which is The Exorcist Believer. That movie is coming out, so they had a maze for that. And then they had one for Evil Dead Rise. And then for TV shows, they had one for Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. So I would say if you were heading to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Hollywood, because we didn't go to the Orlando one, so we can't speak on that experience.
Even though the Orlando one, I watched Ordinary Adventures video on it.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. I mean, it is completely different than what we have here in LA. Mm-hmm. But I really enjoyed going to Horror Nights this year because some of the mazes were done very, very well. One of the reasons why I love going to Horror Nights is seeing the production value of all of the different mazes, especially the ones that are either based on IPs or the ones where they have absolutely no IP and they're just completely just building it from imagination. Last year, it was, I think the one that stole it from me last year was the Universal Monsters one. And I think that was the one with the Bride of Frankenstein storyline, right? And
yeah, I think so.
That one was really good.
Wasn't it just called the Bride of Frankenstein maze?
Maybe.
We have to look back on our own video.
But I would say the top 3 mazes for me this year was definitely the Monsters of Latin America.
Yes.
I think that one was awesome. I just loved they just went all out on costumes, on these huge puppets. And I just love the decor. It is very disturbing.
Yeah,
to go and see.
Fantastic. And then for IPs, I would say The Last of Us and Stranger Things takes the win. Yeah. For the IPs, just because. For Stranger Things, they based it more off the game than off the TV.
No, The Last of Us.
The Last of Us maze, they based it more off of the game than they did the TV show, which I think plays better that way. It really makes you feel like you're walking through the video game. You've got Ellie and Joel kind of not guiding you through the maze, but they do follow you. They don't physically follow you, but you see the characters, you see the actors. Yeah. Ellie and Joel.
And they also used the actor's voice from the video game. Yes. Because you heard Ashley Johnson.
And Troy Baker.
And Troy Baker's voice.
Troy Baker was there. He was on the red carpet, or I think it was called the black carpet. I don't know.
The black carpet.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool because when I first walk in, I'm like, that's Ashley Johnson. I know that voice because I watch Critical Role way too much.
Yes. If you are planning to go to Halloween Horror Nights, I think this is a really good year to go. Yeah. If you haven't already, you should definitely upgrade for the Universal Express Pass for when you go to Horror Nights. So it'll allow you to get everything done in every single maze. You'll get to see all the shows and everything. And speaking of shows, there are 2 live entertainment shows this year. One takes place at Waterworld, and it's called The Purge: Dangerous Waters. So it's a stunt show, But with the purge element, it's we didn't see it, but we saw footage of it.
Yeah, because someone had actually taken a video camera and recorded the whole thing, so and we watched it beforehand. Honestly, it is pretty much Waterworld, but just reskinned for the purge.
But it wasn't like the exact same choreography as Waterworld. Like they changed it up.
Well, there were some beats that were still exactly the same. You know, the boat comes in, starts shooting things up. There's fights that happen around. Someone gets thrown into the acid, and then someone gets lit on fire and kicked off the edge.
I mean, that's like the big thing to see. It's when you see the stunt.
It's that firefall that is so cool.
It's so cool because it's a very dangerous stunt. It's only professional people who should do it, trained professionals, and they have a lot. I think you have to be like, you have to like get certified to do it or something like that. And like another big Waterworld element is the airplane, but I don't think they use the airplane for this show from what I saw, which would have been cool, but it also would have caused a really big splash for the people. And as we go into fall, the weather's going to cool down and it'll get cold. So I think that's why during
the summer, that's an awesome job.
Yeah.
During the fall and winter, it's kind of cold.
And then the other live entertainment thing is called Behind the Screams, Blumhouse Behind the Screams. And it's really not live entertainment. Like they're selling it as a live entertainment, but I would say it's more of an experience, like an immersive experience. It's all Blumhouse based. So you get to see costumes and like props and stuff like that from past Blumhouse titles like The Black Phone, Freaky, Happy Death Day, Megan, M3gan.
What was really cool though, they had the animatronics that they used on the set for Five Nights at Freddy's. That was pretty much the big draw to go into it's at the theater where they do Kung Fu Panda
during the day.
During the day, but you go in there and they have all of the cool props and they have all of the cool animatronics. And then you go into the theater, and that's where everything. I kind of get not excited about what they actually offer because you go in there, they have a guy come up on saying, oh, okay, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about, behind the scenes of Blumhouse. And then the lights go out, he exits, and then it's a projection of the guy, the same announcer. And then Megan comes in, hacks him up, and then they do the dance. So
yeah, we have a full video of it on our channel if you want to go ahead and check that out for Everything Halloween Horror Nights. It was just something that, like, if you need a break from the scares, I think it's kind of cool to go in there. If you really enjoy all the Blumhouse properties, then definitely don't miss that. But if you want to like prioritize mazes and other stuff, I wouldn't even put this on your schedule to go because it's taking up 20 minutes of your precious time where you could have waited in line for another maze. So that's
because kind of there's a lot of really good mazes to go check out. So I would definitely prioritize the mazes over Blumhouse. And if you get a chance, if you've never seen Waterworld, go check out the Waterworld. The performers are great. Purge, yes.
Yeah, so you want to see that. And I know we're gonna get to Ahsoka in just a little bit. So Roger 5171, I do see your super chat. I promise you, we're not ignoring it. We see it, but I want to save it for, and it's a great comment. And I just want to save it for our Ahsoka discussion, which is coming up. And then just a quick note on Oogie Boogie Bash. It was our first time ever. I can't believe I even got tickets because apparently everybody had to fight tooth and nail for the tickets. I mean, I did wait like the full, I think it was 8 hours?
Yeah, it was. You were online a long time.
I felt like
if you wanted to get into Oogie Boogie, you have to fight for them.
Yeah, so we got the ticket. We just went this past Thursday, so there will be a video, like a vlog type. I don't know how good that video is going to be because the way I feel like I documented everything was very sporadic and I kind of didn't have a game plan going in. Because I was like half wanting to enjoy it and half wanting to cover it. So I think in 2024, when we go back to Oogie Boogie Bash, I probably won't cover it at all. I'll just take photos or
just do stuff for social media.
Yeah, and if that, I kind of want to just go and enjoy.
And so here's a little bit of a hint. First, get some of the big guys, the things that you really, really want to see out of the way, and then try to just kind of mingle around during the middle. But at the end, when you have like that last hour
and a half,
that's when you really need to book it because that's when a lot of the really busy areas start to empty out because we walked through to go see Sid
in the very beginning.
At the very beginning, that line was huge. It was like so hard to walk around Pixar Pier.
Yeah.
At all to be able to just squeeze by. But we went back at the end of the night.
There was nobody there. We got full on roasted by Sid.
It was really fun.
As we're leaving, I was like, Sid is mean.
Sid's such a jerk.
Mean.
But if you guys have checked out some of our shorts, I had put up a short that had some of the different characters that you get to walk by on the treat trails. Mm-hmm. And Sid just is giving this like Damien, what is it called? The Antichrist kind of child look, Children of the Corn. And I was like, oh my God. He did a really good job on just being creepy.
Yes.
So I thought it was really fun just to see all of these different characters. But that's pretty much all that Oogie Boogie is about. Yes. Is just seeing the characters. There's some photo ops and getting a ton of candy.
Adult trick. It's
adult trick or treating.
I love it. I was telling Dustin how, I didn't grow up here in the States. I mean, I kind of did, but I was born in Taiwan, and Halloween is not, especially when I was growing up in Taiwan, that's not like a thing that we celebrated there. It's a very a Western holiday, if you will. So when I finally did come to the States, my aunt's like, all right, it's Halloween. What do you want to be? I'm like, what is that?
What is Halloween?
And she explained to me basically in like the most easiest terms. She's like, look, kids dress up as whoever you want, character from movies, TV show, cartoon, and you can wear the costume. Everybody's going to wear the costume, and you go and knock on doors and the people give you candy. I was like, they just give you candy? She's like, yeah. She's like, you have to say trick or treat. So she took me trick or treating the first few years. But by the time I experienced that, I was like 12. So I was right on the cusp of like, you're getting too old to trick or treat.
So it's like, yay, this is so cool. Oh, yeah. Free candy. Oh, you're too old to do it. Oh.
Yeah. So I feel like this is kind of like fulfilling the time that I didn't get enough time to like trick or treat. So it's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of candy. Our snack bin
we don't have to buy Halloween candy this year.
Filled with so much. I saw a comment by hi Blade. Blade is here.
Hey.
Where is it?
I saw
MK writes Judge Doom at Oogie Boogie Bash.
He was.
Yes, we saw him. He is fantastic. He even did like a little thing with a Toon shoe
that he does in the movie.
Into the dip. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, like you got to see it. And there's other villains like Yokai from Big Hero 6 was there.
He was a little boring.
Mother Gothel, Agatha.
Mother Gothel did this evil laugh as we were walking away. And I'm like, it was spot on evil villain laugh.
It's literally her laugh in the movie, but it's the actor doing it. It's so good. Roger says, is that why everyone stares at me when I trick or treat? You know what, man? If you want to trick or treat,
you go trick or treating.
Sometimes I remember when I first moved to California, and the people I was staying with, like they didn't want to take their daughter to trick or not that they didn't, but they had stuff to do, and so I volunteered. I was like, I'll go. So like I put on a minimal effort for a costume, but like I got some candy, because why not?
But I'd have to say my favorite characters was definitely Judge Doom. Mm-hmm. I thought he looked amazing, and he was portrayed very well. The actor did an amazing job on sounding like Judge Doom and moving and talking and looking like Judge Doom.
Yeah.
I would also say one of my favorite characters there was Oogie Boogie himself.
That was so cool. His mouth moves.
Yeah. And I loved the atmosphere because it's in the animation studio, and just seeing all the projections up as Oogie Boogie and seeing Oogie Boogie move and be animated and the mouth moving. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is a really cool setup.
Yeah.
Who were some of your favorite characters? Go ahead.
I was really looking forward to seeing Agatha. She did not disappoint. Mother Gothel was a surprise. I was like, oh dang, she's fantastic. I'm trying to think. I think Oogie Boogie is probably up there as well for me. He also like pointed his finger. He pointed at me. He's like, here comes trouble or something like that. I'm like, damn right. One of the things that I wish they had at Avengers Campus is they did have like a photo op for regular Captain America, but I think in the years past, because probably when What If came out,
Yeah.
they had Zombie Captain America, and I was like, why didn't they have this? And Dustin's like, maybe it's too scary for kids. And I was like, so they don't have to stand in line for it then, if it's too scary for them.
I know that was something I was kind of bummed about. I was like, oh, they should have had Zombie Cap or Zombie Iron Man.
What the heck?
But they didn't. And they had Wanda walking around. But
Wanda was great.
The one that I also forgot was Ernesto. I mean, that was such a surprise a few years ago when I saw the video. I'm like, the makeup looks so good.
Yeah.
And it just looks really cool.
Yeah. Agatha did not do her song. I don't even think it was playing in the background or anything like that. I think
it might have come on when we were gone.
That's true.
Because they have to be up there for a while.
Yeah, but Agatha was great. Sid was a lot of fun. There were other characters that were non-villains, like Doug and Mr. Fredrickson, Edna Mode. The first character we actually lined up for wasn't even a villain, but I was like, we got to do this. It's the Kingdom Heart Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. He didn't have a Keyblade, though.
I know, he didn't have it. But I guess they didn't want him to have to hold anything.
True. It's probably really hard to hold in those gloves as well.
Yeah. So that is kind of our thoughts on Oogie Boogie. It's great it's basically, trick-or-treating and
seeing characters.
And seeing characters and getting to wear a full-on costume into Disney, because normally as an adult, you can't do that.
Make sure you wear a comfortable costume, though, because that's actually one of the reasons why I didn't put on like my full-on outfit, because I was like, it's gonna be, I don't want it to be too hot. I don't want to be like, get this thing off me, 3 hours into it. So I wore something a little bit more comfy. But the highlight, the coolest thing by far at Oogie Boogie Bash is Villains Grove. And it's all just lighting effects. It was the closest thing that they have to a maze. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I wish they had more stuff like this throughout all of Oogie Boogie, but they had super cool lighting effects, super cool sound effects. They had areas there was one area that kind of seemed like, be prepared. And they had all these geysers going off. And
very immersive. Like Villains Grove is a do not miss thing. You always see on Instagram like these, like especially in the fall and winter, they have they take a garden or a park, right? And then they take a pathway and they do it up with lights and smoke and fog and things like that. So it's kind of like that, but they put Disney magic on it. So there's projection, there's sounds. It's very immersive. It doesn't even feel like you're in Disneyland. It's magical. It's really, Navi's gonna go.
Oh, she's getting a little squirmy, and my lap is all sweaty now.
Yes. So we had a great time. I would like to go back next year. What I would like to see them improve on is more Oogie Boogie specific food. Mm-hmm. There were only 4 or 5 specific foods that they served at Oogie Boogie, and with the prices we went on a Thursday earlier in the season, so our ticket isn't even as expensive as some of the other people who are going say on Halloween or something like that. That's $200 plus a person. For the amount of money that we are paying, I feel like there should be more exclusive items, food, and even the merchandise, because the merchandise you can get anytime during the Halloween season for as long as they have it. So it's not exclusive to Oogie Boogie Bash. And I feel like for people who go to an After Dark event, there's the event's exclusive in itself, but there's I want there to be some commemorative things that yes, you got to have this because you came and paid for the ticket and you were here during Oogie Boogie Bash.
It's kind of even something like just a shirt that you can only get when you're at Oogie Boogie that says, I partied at the Oogie Boogie Bash.
Or something like that. Yeah, like a button or something, so that's the hope. And I agree with Blade. I feel like it's kind of sad that for the adults, we can't wear costumes to Disney. And that's specific to Disney here in the United States. Because in Tokyo is not technically a Disney only.
Yeah, Tokyo or Hong Kong.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
No, Shanghai.
Shanghai. One of those is those two are not.
One of the two in Asia.
Yeah, are not owned and run by Disney.
Yeah, people. We see people dress up in Tokyo Disney. We were there and I was like, wait, is that allowed?
Are we able to do this?
Yeah, so apparently you can do that there because it's not owned by Disney. It's lended out or leased to whatever theme park company that gets they still have to run it with a lot of Disney safety rules and procedures and branding, licensing. They still have to have that all on brand for Disney, but there's certain things, the way they operate, it's like, it's better. It's better. It's still my favorite Disney theme park. Out of the three that we've gone to, it's still the.
I want to go. I mean, honestly, someday I want to go to all of the Disney theme parks. I would love to like move to Florida for a year and just go and just live in Orlando and just kind of have season passes and just spend the year going to
Universal
Disney, going to Universal Disney,
Busch Gardens,
just all of the, and just do all of the theme parks for a little bit.
All right, guys, it's been about 45 minutes, or about half an hour since we've been on, so I think it is time to pivot to Ahsoka. So if you're here, you've stuck around, thank you so much for your patience. Let's talk about Ahsoka. Let's cover everything we've seen this season so far, including episode 5. This was one of our most anticipated shows, Ahsoka being one of our favorite Star Wars characters, having watched her from her inception, in Clone Wars, the movie, Clone Wars, the series, and watch her grow throughout that series to Rebels, and then back again to Clone Wars because then they gave us an extra season. That was it's just so fantastic, and now we get to see her in live action.
So just a quick heads up for anyone who did just join, we will be talking spoilers about episodes 1 through 5 of Ahsoka. So if you are not caught up, if you have not, if you don't want certain things spoiled, please, I hate to say tune out, but
unless you don't mind spoilers.
Unless you guys don't mind spoilers, but we will be definitely hitting spoilers about every single episode from 1 to 5, especially episode 5, which is what I really want to dive into.
Then let's talk about it. Well, I think we should start with episode 4 at the very least. I think one of the things that all of us didn't really expect from the show was this is essentially like almost like a Rebels live action, like Rebels season 5 live action. With the focus being on Ahsoka because she is, the title character. But I'm loving that we're getting to see a lot of interactions between Hera and Sabine, and it's just really cool to see these characters that we've loved, and Chopper, of course.
I have to admit, Chopper once again steals the show in almost every single scene he's in.
Oh man! So with episode 4, as we get into now, Sabine and Ahsoka they've tried to mend their relationship. They have become master and apprentice again. And Sabine's more open to the criticism and learning, and Ahsoka, learning how to be a master. Because no one really taught her how to be a master.
Well, in a sense, no one really even taught her how to be a Jedi. They taught her how to be a warrior, because how to be a soldier, a fighter. And for generations, Jedi were not taught that. They were taught to be defenders of the peace. They were taught to be, mitigators. They were taught to be peacekeepers. They were not taught to be soldiers. And that's what Ahsoka's generation of younglings only got. Kanan, all he got was war, battle, death, and destruction. And yet Ahsoka's sitting here like, am I even really a Jedi? Was my training even to be a Jedi? So there's that conflict with inside her, and I love that we saw a lot more of that in episode 5.
And I think that has to do a lot with, the very first time we saw live action Ahsoka was in The Mandalorian season 2.
Mandalorian, wait.
When did we see Ahsoka live action?
Oh, when we saw...
it was the episode named The Jedi.
It was in Boba Fett, wasn't it?
Okay, you guys let us know that in the comments. I can't remember, but we saw her either in The Mandalorian or... No, we saw her in Boba Fett because that episode was like a Mandalorian episode. But I think the first time we saw her was season 2 of The Mandalorian in an episode called The Jedi. And I thought they did her great. And I remember back then reading the comments, just like on the show, from our reaction, people were saying that Ahsoka felt different. The way her personality is different than but we saw her in Rebels and this and that. And I was like, yeah, I noticed it too, but it didn't bother me because I was like, there's been so much time that's passed between that Ahsoka and this one that we're seeing right now. So who knows what else she's gone through, and she's older, and and like that could just be her trying to be cautious, and she's a survivor of Order 66 as well. And then the more we saw of her in like episodes 1 through 3 in the current show, even I kind of noticed, I was like, yeah, this Ahsoka's like, she's heavier, like her heart's heavier. She's a little bit more like stoic, and and I think some people were like, oh, it's not a true portrayal of Ahsoka. And I was like, well, hold on, let's see. Right. I think my issue, it wasn't with her being stoic. It was because like, I was like, it's a choice between the actor and the director. And there's no way Filoni was going to let this character, this is like his pride and joy, be portrayed any other way than its truest form. So I wanted to believe that. My problem was with sometimes the dialogue would have very long pregnant pauses. And those can be great, but not when it's an entire episode of that. But that was a very minor complaint. I didn't like the show less because that's the way it was structured. Like I just noticed it. And I was like, oh, I wish it was like the pacing was a little bit quicker, but I wasn't like, I'm never watching the show anymore. So I wanted to, with all that said, I wanted to jump to Roger's super chat that we've been holding on to since the beginning of the show. Who writes, everyone complains about Ahsoka being stoic. Now that we have Ahsoka the White, I think we will see a totally different Ahsoka after relieving herself from the years of guilt she carried. Yes. Great to see you guys. Thank you so much, Roger. So yeah, she literally went through her own Jedi trial and having to go through, down memory lane of seeing Anakin again. I think that was the best. Like having Anakin show up in the hello snips and Master, and I'm like, oh my God, we're getting this. This is for real.
It was such an amazing scene. And there's now just so many theories about what exactly was Anakin in this moment. Was it Anakin's actual Force ghost? Is it Anakin who's actually ascended to more of the father figure of the Mortis gods? Mm-hmm. Is it more of the memories that Ahsoka brought into the world between worlds with her? So I have a fan theory that I think that it really was Anakin bringing Ahsoka into the world between worlds, and that he has now taken the mantle of all three Mortis gods. That he has now brought balance to the Force, and now he's kind of working as, I guess, kind of a puppet master to be kind of like, okay, how can I keep this balance? In order to do that, I'm going to need Ahsoka. I need Ahsoka to make the choice whether to live or to die. I can't make this choice for her, but I can teach her a lesson to move her from where she is.
Complete her training.
To complete her training, very much so. And I love that because now it opens up a space to be able to have Anakin be more of that balancing force in the Force. But yet it wasn't clearly answered. So there's still a lot of speculation, still a lot of different thoughts. And I've got to be careful because I do something that gets me into trouble with these episodes and these shows, that I get this brain cannon. And then when it doesn't happen the exact same way that I wanted it to happen,
don't do that to yourself.
I get upset.
Don't do that to yourself. I really enjoyed that arc a lot. The second that we saw that she was world between worlds, it was that hope of like, we're going to see Anakin, right? But it's like, you don't want to believe it until it happened, just in case you build yourself up for like nothing. I'm so glad that it was the case. And getting to see, like Debbie says it here too, like getting to see Hayden Christensen be Anakin again, but he is like welcome back with open arms. And it's like, I never really understood the hate on the actors.
I always felt
for the prequels. Like if you don't like the prequels, fine, you don't like the prequels, but it's one of those, like the actors were just there to do their job. They're giving the material. You make certain choices as an actor to portray a character this way. And it's up to the directors and the DP and essentially like editors. To give that final product. Like that's all out of the actor's hand. Their job is to be on set and give a really fantastic performance. So I'm happy that Hayden Christensen is like back gets to be Anakin, a Clone Wars Anakin with the outfit. It was so good.
And he brought Anakin to life so well in this, because the way that he acted and the way that he looked, and it really felt like they just brought the Anakin from the animated series, and Hayden just brought him to life so well. And there was such a great kind of not reverence, but he had what Anakin always needed to have, was that confidence, was that the fact that he is a great master training Ahsoka, and you just got this great character vibe from him. And I think Hayden Christensen just knocked it out of the park on bringing all of the different pieces of Anakin, bringing in a little bit of Vader, bringing in a little bit of prequel Anakin, a little bit of Clone Wars animated Anakin, because we've seen so many different variations and so many different takes on him. Yes. And it's kind of like bringing the best parts of all of these things of Anakin that we've seen and giving us this just amazingly true and honest performance, and just everything that we've always wanted to see Anakin be.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and getting to also see in the same episode, not just like, Ahsoka and Anakin and their lightsaber battle in the World Between Worlds, but getting to go back in time and get not one, but two younger Ahsoka versions played by Ariana Greenblatt.
Who did an amazing job.
She is in the Barbie movie as Sasha. If you haven't seen the Barbie movie yet, she's in that. She is also, a long time ago, she was in the Guardians movie as young Gamora. So the girl can act. Like, she is fantastic in Barbie. And she's fantastic as young Ahsoka. And it's funny because we went through that pink fog and we see Ahsoka on the ground. And I was like, she's smaller, younger. That's mindful blown that we got to see live action Clone Wars Ahsoka.
And this is the thing. It wasn't really until I saw the actress that played young Ahsoka that made me go, oh yeah, that's right. She's like a teenager, barely a teenager.
War.
And she's a general fighting in war. And I'm like, oh,
the Jedi Order is terrible.
Oh, the Jedi messed up. God. This is like wrong on so many levels.
And Anakin wasn't even that old either.
Yeah,
at the time,
Anakin was pretty young.
Anakin was still pretty young. I was like, yeah, it's really screw up your like mental health.
It's like
no wonder Ahsoka has all of this internal turmoil.
Yeah,
all she knew was war, death, and having to make decisions. And that could potentially cause her platoon to like lose a few men, and having to like live with that. Like, you saw her struggle with that, and I like that she was a commander now.
Oh yeah, sure.
So I love that they touched on that. I love that we got her in two different outfits.
Yeah,
that was really the classic, not the tube top Padawan, but like it was like season 2 or season 3 when she got like the new outfit, the new.
Which I'm glad burgundy. That they picked that one too, because that outfit I thought
she was so young. Like she was barely, she was like a little thing.
Honestly, a part, just because I would love to have seen it, is when they were reliving the Battle of Mandalore, to have the Siege of Mandalore. That's right.
Oh, so cool.
Which was amazing. A part of me was kind of like, oh, are we going to get to see Darth Maul, maybe?
I was kind of hoping. I was like, are we going to get a Ray Park / Sam Witwer appearance?
But I think that would have been really hard to have pulled off and kept the kind of vibe that they were going for in this one. And I think it would have really pulled focus, because the focus was supposed to be on Ahsoka, learning this lesson from Anakin, and not have a really cool moment with Darth Maul.
Yeah. It's great. And for anybody who was curious about the battle between Ahsoka and Darth Maul, watch I think it's season 7 of the Clone Wars.
Yes.
Yeah, so you get to see that. It's fantastic. It's excellent. Must watch. What we're looking for. Oh, another thing, and I know like people already talked about this, but the very creative uses of flashing the blue and red and putting, Hayden in that Vader costume and just using flashes of it was so good. Like him coming out of the fog, walking towards Ahsoka, and it was like flash Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's fantastic. No wonder they showed this episode in theaters. It was in select theaters. I think it was one night only. I didn't even know that it was like happening until like the tickets had already sold out, and I was like, oh, guess we'll be watching it from home. But to have experienced it in theaters probably was really cool, and I kind of wish they did it for like a month-long thing, so people can just go and buy tickets for that one episode, like, because I would do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys watch our reaction to that, I geeked out so hard.
Yeah,
I turned into my
so
moment.
After Ahsoka has finished her trial and she was being rescued because Sabine and really Jason was the one that like sensed her, found her, and she's like kind of reborn, reawakened.
Ahsoka the White.
Ahsoka the White. And I like that they did it slowly. Like when she was recovering, they just put the white shawl on her, and she's got a different headpiece. They made sure to take the old one off, and she gets a brand new costume. That was really interesting to see too, without any kind of head dressing on her. Yeah, that was really cool. I loved it. I love the new outfit reveal. I love that as they were pitching a ride with the Purgles, they show that Ahsoka is indeed all of that. She has a better understanding of, her past, and with Anakin and him becoming Vader and stuff like that. Like, because he was like, this is what it's all about. That it's that, and they had to like fight it out. And her saying, "I choose to live." She didn't want to fight him. She's like, "I choose to live." And being in the white outfit, we're gonna get the staff by the end of the series, maybe. You think? I think we're going to get that white staff by the end of this series. I'm also I really like just how Ahsoka has become a lot more lighthearted after that. Yes. After they went up to the Purgle, and after they were like, so this, and what is it? Hu Yan.
Hu Yan was like, so this is going to take us to Ezra. And she was like, I don't know. Well, she was like, what do you, and Hu Yan was like, wait, what do you mean? I don't know. We'll find out. This is the will of the Force.
Just the slow turn where she's like, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, Hu Yan was
just unblinking droid eyes. It's so great. I can't wait to see the next episode, because they'll give us some time to catch up with Sabine and Baylan and Shin and Morgan to see like where they're at. I don't know. Do you think we'll meet Thrawn by the next episode?
Well, I've heard, I think you were the one who told me that Dave Filoni has mentioned that Thrawn is going to be...
the movie bunch that told me that.
The movie bunch that told you that Thrawn is going to be the main bad guy in his film, the film that he's directing and producing. And so we might get just one episode of Thrawn's entrance, introduction to Thrawn for the live action.
Wow.
And then it's going to just leave us on a huge cliffhanger where, you know what, it might even be where Thrawn comes back and our heroes are left behind.
I'm gonna be mad if Thrawn is like a post credit or like very last episode or a quick flash. Like I think we deserve at least one full episode with Thrawn before he's like in the movie. They if the plan is for him to be the big bad in Filoni's movie, then obviously he will live through the series. Like it won't be. I mean, he's too big of a character to just be like a one-off, like you're in the series and now you don't exist anymore. Like I don't think they'll do that, because I think there's a lot of story to be told there with Thrawn. I'm very hopeful that they'll do this right. So far, everything I'm seeing with this series, I like.
Yes,
I like that for the DPs that they're using for to shoot, the episodes, is really focusing on making things look really cinematic. The lightsaber battles are filmed with wide angles, so we can see all the flares and the choreography of the lightsaber fights. Like that's what I want, because that's how the movies do it.
Yeah, and honestly, that is the way that you can show off such amazing choreography. I feel like if all you do is get close-up shots and cut shots and jump shots of a fight, of any fight, you are wasting all of the talent of these choreographers, of all the hours that they've spent on these fights, because that wide shot is what really shows the skill and just the moment and the character, because you're telling a story through different means. Instead of dialogue, they have come to a point in the story where the stakes have come so high that all they can do is fight.
Yeah. All they can do is fight. And I agree, yeah, like Blade, that's what we're saying. Like we don't want to just see Thrawn in like for, a 1 to 2 minute appearance. Like I want him to be in an episode.
Well, I think the next episode is going to focus probably a lot more on Sabine, because they're going to focus on the travel, and then because Ahsoka's not that far behind. She's maybe less than a day, maybe a couple of hours behind Sabine.
The Purgles will hopefully know what they're she communicated with the Purgle, with the big one. So,
and they're both following the same path, because they had mentioned that this technology was developed on the Purgles and their flight path. So they should end up in about the same spot, because they're leaving from the same spot and going to the same spot.
It's just so exciting. I want to go to Debbie's comment here. Say Jason hearing the lightsaber fight in the Force and Kevin Kiner's music. Nerd moment. I also want to see what it means for Kanan and Hera's son. Yeah, it's great to see like they're including Jason in the show. I love that Hera was full on like, sure, take your kids to work day, like let's go. But it was important for Jason to be there, because if it wasn't for him, I don't know. I think maybe they would have given up the search for Ahsoka.
Yeah. They probably wouldn't have found her.
Yeah, and she was Jason smart. She listened. She knew that her son is most likely to be Force sensitive. So the first time she's like, not now. And the second she's like, okay, I gotta listen to what this kid is saying. And I don't know if you guys have caught it. My friend Jen Marie pointed it out to me. But on Hera's dashboard, like when she's piloting the Ghost, there is actually, you can see, it's not a close up. You have to kind of catch it, because they don't try to focus on it. But there is a photo. She has a photo of Kanan on her dash, like, you know, how pilots have like photos. And if you like, there's a couple of shots you can kind of see it more clearly. And I was like, that is 100% Freddie Prinze Jr. as like dressed as Kanan. It's really, really cool. Yeah, the photograph.
Side note, I can't remember Legends as well, but if I'm not mistaken, one of either in Legends, one of the children of either Luke or of Leia turns to the dark side. I can't remember who. Well, was it one of their children named Jason, and he turns to the dark side? A part of me is just wondering if they're starting to build up Jason's character a little bit more, because he's going to play an important role.
Wait, Luke's kids?
Well, because in Legends, Jason Solo, that's right.
Oh yeah,
Jason Solo turns to the dark side. I'm wondering if they're going to take aspects of Jason Solo and make it Jason, Hera's Jason, turn to the dark side a little bit. So that's just something that just popped in my head.
Kid, says Debbie.
So I mean, because there's so much cool stuff in Legends that I want to see, especially the fact before Ahsoka started airing and they were saying heir to the Empire. I'm like, I want them to pull some of the stuff I would love to see.
Just be careful with your headcanon.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to see Mara Jade make an appearance somewhere. I know people would love to see Mara Jade come into this, but I want to see Luke more.
Yeah.
I mean, we have him in canon. He is on whatever planet he is, trying to build up his Jedi Order. And that's the story that I've been wanting to see since Return of the Jedi. And it seems like if Thrawn does make it back to the Star Wars galaxy, I can't remember what the name of that galaxy, but he would be able, Ahsoka would be like, oh my gosh, this is too big of a threat. I need help. Hey, Luke Skywalker, how about you come and help us? And they just either do the facial thing, or you do the what is that called? The deep fake thing, or they hire an actor that looks like Luke. So, get Sebastian Stan.
I think the deep fake technology they've already proven that it works.
Yeah.
For, because we saw it in the Book of Boba Fett. So, yeah.
So those are just things I would love to see happen. But of course, once again, that's me and my headcanon going off on a tangent, going, this is what I want, give it to me.
Well, it is Saturday, so it's only a few days until we have episode 6, which somebody said in the comments earlier, it's like 46 minutes plus. So a slightly shorter episode, but not so short where it's like, when you see the runtime and you're like, 37 minutes?
Or,
oh no.
What was it, when you saw the season finale of Secret Invasion, and you're like, 33 minutes? Oh no. oh no, like honestly, oof. I'm always now very pessimistic sometimes about sorry, about how these seasons are or how these shows are going to end since Secret Invasion, because I felt like we really got gypped on that series.
Well, you guys, I think that is the end for our discussion on the Ahsoka series. We're really liking it so far. Obviously, episode 4, episode 5, those are the highlights so far. I think it's such a treat as like Star Wars fans getting to see Hayden Christensen as Anakin, and getting to face off in live action with Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka. Like, that's just so cool. The fight looks great. The way they filmed it, color, just everything was just, I was salivating as I was watching. I was like, man, this is really fantastic. So I hope the show continues to, move on this path of just being really awesome. And yeah, we'll see if we get to see Thrawn in this next episode. I don't think we're going to see him in episode 6. I think it'll be 7 or 8.
I think we might see him in this one.
Hope I'm wrong, though.
Because they're going to be in the new galaxy. Everyone has warped over there. So I think that's what we're building up to.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, that is it for us for today. Thank you so much for watching. We have a lot of content on our channel right now that are new. Halloween Horror Nights video is new. That's up. Our review on A Haunting in Venice, that is up on the channel. I have a trailer reaction to the Monarch trailer. That will go up probably Monday.
Oh yeah, and our Aquaman trailer reaction.
Oh yeah, that's up as well. So go ahead and check that out. And Nick, there are 8 episodes to Ahsoka total.
So we got 3 more.
We got 3 more.
Yes.
Yes, we got 3 more. And then that is it for us for today's live stream. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button on this video. Really helps us out. YouTube algorithm loves that. We love that. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. If you sent in a super chat, thank you so much for sending that in. And we will see you guys next time in the next video. Bye.